Welcome, welcome. We are so grateful that you're here with us tonight as we're here to honor teachers, people who have made such a difference in our community and for our children. My name is Jason Johnson, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Quick White Car Wash, which is not why I'm here tonight. That's what I do for a day job, but working at a car wash is not what qualifies me to host this evening. I also recently was a bishop for one of our local congregations, and in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and this is one of our chapels. And in addition, and maybe one of the things that qualifies me the most to do this tonight is I grew up in the home of a high school teacher, my dad, who I love and honor and who's made such a difference in my life, and we're excited to honor teachers tonight. There's a business leader who said in the last century that in a completely rational society, the best would be teachers, and the rest of us would have to settle for something else. Tonight we're going to honor some of the best of us, teachers. I want to recognize President Alan Smith, who presides over the local congregations of our church in the Rocklin and Granite Bay congregations, and he's here tonight with us along with his counselors and his presiding. We also want to recognize our publicly elected officials and school administration who have joined us this evening. Seated on the stand, we have Joe Patterson, our California State Assemblyman. From the Rocklin City Council, Bill Halden and David Bass. From the Rocklin School Board, our President Julie Hupp, and Rocklin School Board members Tiffany Sadoff, Rochelle Price, Derek Counter, and Michelle Sutherland. Roger Stock, Superintendent of the Rocklin Unified School District. Marty Flowers, Associate Superintendent, Rocklin Unified School District. Davis Stewart, Rocklin High School Principal. Scott Collins, Whitney High School Principal. Pete Constant, Roseville Joint Union High School District Board President. Tyler Holt, Eureka Union School District Board President. John Becker, Superintendent, Roseville Joint Union High School District. Tom Janis, Superintendent, Eureka Union School District. And Matt Galvin, John Adams Academy Dean of Operations. We welcome each of them and are grateful that they've joined us this evening. Tonight we'll begin, and we'd like to welcome the Rocklin High School Chamber Choir up now. And as they come forward, give them just a minute. And ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the colors by the Whitney High School Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard, and then the national anthem. The commander of the Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard carrying the U.S. flag is Cadet Colonel Gabriella Larson. The state flag bearer is Cadet Major Liam Turley. The right guard is Cadet Chief Master Sergeant Michael Collins. The left guard is Cadet Colonel Caleb Solisa. And today's alternate is Cadet First Lieutenant Trenton Sublett. Thank you. Our opening prayer this evening will be offered by Superintendent of Rocklin High School District, John Becker. And then after his prayer, Julie Hupp, our Rocklin School District Board President, will give some opening remarks. And following Julie, Rochelle Price will introduce the awards presentation for this evening. John.
Dear Heavenly Father, we have come before you today with heartfelt appreciation and gratefulness as we have been blessed with the opportunity to assemble together and to celebrate the hard work and dedication of these 11 recipients. As we honor each individual this evening, help us to remember all glory belongs to you, as you have provided these outstanding educators with the passion, knowledge, and resilience to impactfully serve our various school communities. Thank you for the friends, family, and community who support these caring individuals as we humbly ask for your guidance and protection in everything we do. We ask that you strengthen us, restore us, and inspire us with your love. In the name of our Heavenly Father, amen.
Well, thank you so much for coming out tonight to show our teachers how much they mean to us and how much they mean to our children. Thank you for taking this time to value those who pour their heart and soul into what they do. Most of the time, teachers don't get recognized publicly, as their jobs are pretty isolated from the general population, and if you ask them, they're okay with that. They don't do it for the recognition. They do it because they genuinely love it. So what's the difference between a good teacher and a great teacher? Think for a minute about that teacher that made a difference in your life. A good teacher would have airtight lesson plans, use research-based teaching techniques, and probably have a cute and orderly classroom. But I'd be willing to bet you didn't think of any of those things when you thought about the teacher who made a difference in your life and maybe even changed you in some way. Those things are necessary and good, but they're not what make a great teacher. For me, that great teacher was my 8th grade history teacher. I actually managed to make it all the way to 8th grade without connecting with any of my teachers. But then I had Ms. Love in 8th grade history, and she looked me in the eyes and addressed me by name every day. I couldn't hide from her when she looked me in the eyes, so we sort of had to connect. But it really took root when she caught me reading a trashy romance novel behind my history book. And she stomped over and yanked it out, and I thought I was in big trouble. But instead, she marched to her desk, and she came right back to me, and she slapped a novel down on my desk and said, "If you're going to be reading in my class, you're going to read something good." And that was the beginning of many years of a book-loving friendship. So what is the magic ingredient that makes a good teacher great? Tonight, we're surrounded by truly great teachers. How did they do it? These teachers took the time to get to know their students. They know their names. They genuinely care about them and realize that students have rich and complicated lives outside of the classrooms. These teachers are real. They're fun. They're funny. They're humble and creative. Mistakes are celebrated. They become teachable moments, opportunities to grow in a safe environment. These teachers coach and mentor, nurture and inspire. Their classrooms are not teacher-centered, they're student-centered. The common quality of all of these exceptional educators is that they genuinely love what they do. They have a passion for their subject, but they also have a passion for reaching kids. They create an environment where students know that their thoughts, their opinions, and even their life experiences are valued and appreciated. These teachers understand that the minds and hearts that they are influencing and inspiring are the next generation of community leaders, industry leaders, artists, and public servants. And yes, who knows, maybe even the next president or world-changing inventor. These are the teachers that will be remembered, the teachers that make a difference in the lives of the kids they teach. And because they see our children, we want to see them. And because they love our children, we love them. They go above and beyond and outside of the regular curriculum into the hearts and memories of those they teach. We are so grateful to have them here tonight and to have the opportunity to honor them because they so richly deserve it. So let's get to it.
This is such a unique night because most of these teachers have probably received awards chosen for them by other adults. But what makes it so special is that this award is given on behalf of students nominating them. And I'm so inspired and excited for you to hear what they have written and have to share about these teachers. So we'll start with Rocklin High School teacher Sarah Blankenship, which will be presented by Megan Price. Then Sean Spees, presented by Holly Salvatierra. John Thompson, presented by Zoe Erickson. Then Whitney High School teachers Jesse Armis, presented by Kendall Meeks. Major Jennifer Pearl, presented by Lizzie Lamborn. Selena Uloa, presented by Logan Starr. Granite Bay High School teachers Ernie Cooper, presented by Lizzie Hanson. Desiree Milburn, presented by Bella Silva. John Sherman, presented by Christian Jones. And two John Adams Academy teachers, Hallie Delbout, and presented by Aria Ramey, and Miles Matthews, presented by Madeline Webster. Sorry, I should have said. Would like the teacher to come up as well as the student? Yes, thank you.
It is my great pleasure to introduce to you tonight our first teacher, Mrs. Blankenship. Mrs. Blankenship has been my dance teacher for the past 3 years. When I began high school, Mrs. Blankenship taught entry-level dance classes as well as a few other PE classes. In 2021, she took over the advanced dance classes as well, teaching 7 instead of the usual full-time 6 classes. Since teaching both Dance 1 and advanced dance classes, she has managed hundreds of students' grades, planned 3 incredible dance shows a year, performances for our school-wide assemblies, and choreographed routines all seamlessly. She is organized, meticulous, and thoughtful. Mrs. Blankenship has high expectations for her students, which I kind of love. These include that we are on time for class, prepared and ready to dance, that we come to class knowing the choreography previously taught, that we manage everything that comes with being in a show, and that we have integrity. These high expectations are what makes her classes run so well and part of what has made me into who I am today. She teaches her students important life skills and makes us dependable soon-to-be adults. In addition, Mrs. Blankenship's passion for dance shines through everything she does and has shown through to all of her students as well as the audiences that watch Rocklin High School dance. I can tell Mrs. Blankenship loves her job because she wants to share her passion for dance with us. She gives us the opportunity to grow, encourages us to dance with 100% effort, and does everything she can to help us improve. For example, after being in her dance class for 2 years, Mrs. Blankenship gave me the opportunity to choreograph for our class, which was extremely scary and something I thought I couldn't do. She encouraged and believed in me and said she'd be here for me anytime I needed help. She made me believe that I was capable of choreographing, something I never would have thought before. Without her, I never would have gotten out of my comfort zone and found that choreographing was something I really enjoyed. She helped me realize that I am capable of anything I set my mind to with hard work and effort. I'm not alone in this either, as I know many other students feel the same. She has provided so many opportunities for students to lead and grow, whether that be student directing, teaching choreography, or even just leading the day's warm-ups. She has been the means for hundreds of students to grow a passion for dance and develop into not only amazing people, students, and leaders for our school and community. Even through all of her planning, high expectations, and passion for dance, her class would not be nearly as incredible as it is without her kindness and care. Mrs. Blankenship cares about her students with compassion, love, and genuine concern. She has a gift for making people feel seen, heard, and important. Over the years, Mrs. Blankenship has worked hard to create an environment in her classroom where everyone feels comfortable to be themselves and to fail. When someone falls while dancing, instead of laughing at them, everyone claps for them to show love. She has established a positive, welcoming place, which has become a home on campus for her students. A word that describes Mrs. Blankenship well is invested. I've seen how much Mrs. Blankenship truly cares about her students. She genuinely wants to know what is going on in each of our lives, is there to congratulate us for our successes, and encourages us and pushes us in our failures. She is invested in each and every one of her students and their personal lives. She loves getting the scoop on even our dating lives. Mrs. Blankenship has been such an influential mentor to me, and I look forward to see how she continues to grow the dance program at Rocklin High School. She treats everyone with kindness, truly is concerned about her students' well-being, wants her students to get out of her comfort zone, and has made her program one that I will be sad to leave when I graduate because of the lessons learned and the relationships made. Thank you, Mrs. Blankenship, for all you've done for me, and thank you for joining me in honoring her.
First of all, Megan, thank you so incredibly much. I'm so touched. I do love to get the scoop with the students after class. I have loved having you in class for 3 years, and our relationship has evolved so much. I love it when you stay after class and you tell me things that are happening in life, because really that's far more important than what we're doing inside the classroom. I want you to grow as a whole person, and it's been such a joy to watch you grow with confidence. And thank you so much for having me here tonight. What an honor it is. I see so many of my amazing students, and it's a pleasure to get to share my passion, which is dance, with students to help them gain confidence. And Megan was referring to how she's got to choreograph for the advanced dance show, and she's doing it with Caitlin, her sister, and I knew they could do it, and I knew I'd be right there with you to help you succeed with that. I do want to give a little shout out. The only reason I'm here tonight is because my parents encouraged me to always pursue my passion, which is what I encourage all of my students to do, and they're about 5 rows back recording this right now. Fred and Judy, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, the only teacher I've had all 4 years is Mr. Spies, and he has always been so kind and understanding with anyone and everyone he meets. He accepts challenges with a smile and loves teaching, and you can tell he does because of his passion towards music. Mr. Spies has inspired and encouraged many students to come out of their shell and try new things, even though it might be scary. I remember my first audition. I went in, and the first note I sang, I voice cracked. And it was so embarrassing, but Mr. Spies just kept going, and he didn't care that I messed up as long as I just kept going. He made me realize it's okay to make mistakes, and that what's important is that you just keep going. Mr. Spies isn't just a teacher, he's a friend and a mentor that has changed lives. He is someone you can talk to and trust if you're having a bad day, and he will always understand and want to help. Mr. Spies is one of the most hardworking teachers I know. He is constantly at the school working and volunteering in not only in choir, but theater and other opportunities for us students. He is constantly looking for amazing opportunities and memories for his students. There will be some days where he'll get there early, just have his room open for people to come into school early and stay warm, and he'll still be at the school around 7 or 8. He will compose music for us to sing, take time to conduct it, and make sure we're all on board with it. Not many teachers can make you feel an intense emotion towards a subject, but Mr. Spies can. Mr. Spies is loved by all, so I thought I'd share some of what the choir students had to say about him. One student said, before joining choir, I had a hard time finding my identity in a safe space in Rocklin High School. After joining choir, Mr. Spees had made me really feel included. I'm very glad to have a caring teacher who takes time to get to know every single one of his students here. Another said, Mr. Spees does something amazing for us students. Personally, with how much he's taught me about singing and beyond, he's like a performance arts father figure. He's an incredible teacher, and it's truly beautiful the way he helps all of us singers and people. If you ask any of his students, they will tell you that his class is a safe space for everyone. Mr. Spees is always open to talk if you had a bad day or week. He's a teacher who wants to know and wants to help, like a friend who listens and understands. I believe Mr. Spees definitely deserves this award because he goes above and beyond for us students.
Thank you, Holly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you.
Of course.
Oh, thank you, Holly. Where are you? Right there. Where did you go? I'm always looking for you. Wow. I said take a minute and talk, and I honestly have one of these few moments where I'm at a loss for words, which usually isn't the case. You know that, and they know that too. I can ramble like the best of them. But I'm thinking back to a teacher in my life that stepped in as an incredible mentor and supported me, encouraged me when I was completely floundering and trying to figure out what to do my freshman year in college after being removed from a soccer team due to an injury, and my life was like, what do I do now? And I walked by this room, and a teacher just saw me and said, you, come here, you're a singer. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm a soccer player. And so I stepped in the room, and I listened to this choir, and afterwards she said, I'm going to do a voice check on you right now. I'm like, what? I have no idea what you're talking about. And that was the beginning of an incredible relationship with a mentor who took me under her wings for a number of years and saw something in me that I didn't see, and was able to draw something out of me that I never knew was there. And for me, I think that's such an incredible opportunity for educators, for parents, for any of us sitting back here, community members, district office workers. We all have that ability to pull something out of somebody if we recognize it and see it. And I'm one of those stories. So I see all my students like that. And I know that not all of them are going to go into music. They're not all going to become a professional artist or musician, but they are going to step into this world and do something amazing. And there's one thing I say there's more to life than music, and I truly mean that, but we can have something like music to bring us all together. And that's what I love about what I teach. That's what I love about my students. And every time I get to come to school, I truly feel blessed, not because I have a job. Job's just a job, but I get to work with people. And Holly, I've been with you 4 years. I had your sister, your older sister. I have your younger sister now. And Mr. Johnson's here tonight who introduced everything in the beginning. I've had all of his kids throughout the years, and I'm in such a blessed position where I can walk with somebody for 4 years of their life and then watch them go on to the next level of their journey, hopefully taking something that they've learned from the classroom. So I love it. I have to truly say that it's for the students that I'm wildly blessed to come to work every day. And you guys are what keeps me going, even when COVID almost killed me. All right, Zoom choir, not the thing to do. Okay, not good. But thank you guys for hanging in there, and also for our district workers for the continued support. If you support us as teachers, you're supporting students. And I just thank you guys much. Parents, you rock. Keep raising good kids, hold them accountable, high standards. It does make our life easier, but I just want to say thank you to you as well. So that's it. That's more than a minute. Thank you. All right, thank you.
It's my pleasure to now introduce to you Mr. Thompson. I have Mr. Thompson as a teacher all 4 years of high school. He has taught me so much about being a good leader and overall just a good person. But before I knew Mr. Thompson, my mom did. She too had him as an activities director all 4 years of high school. When I was in 8th grade, I attended freshman orientation where Mr. Thompson spoke. I'd been telling my mom leading up to that night that I didn't want to do ASB because I thought that I had to be more outgoing and it just seemed like something I didn't want to do. But after the meeting, my mom grabbed my hand and took me to Mr. Thompson, telling him to convince me to apply for ASB. I vividly remember him pointing his finger at me and saying, "Do ASB." Let's just say that it really scared me and is ultimately the reason that I applied. But I soon found out once entering the program that I was wrong and that our student government program doesn't consist of only super outgoing people, but also more introverted people like myself. Mr. Thompson has done an amazing job developing his program, and I'm thankful for all the opportunities that has given me. I've met so many amazing people and accomplished so much. One thing about Mr. Thompson is that he has all these stupid Thompsonisms, which is pretty much pieces of advice or wisdom that he gives us. One that I remember him sharing is how important relationships are. This has helped me to prioritize my relationships with friends, family members, and most importantly, my Savior. I've learned so much from Mr. Thompson and the advice he's given me, not only about leadership, but about life in general. He honestly cares so much about the students at Rocklin High School, which is something I really look up to him for. He's always trying to make a difference. Our main purpose in ASB is to connect students to the campus in a positive way. High school can be a difficult time, and it's so important to help people feel welcomed and involved. Without Mr. Thompson, we wouldn't have any of our amazing dances, rallies, floats, and other activities that give students the opportunity to feel connected and important. Mr. Thompson has helped me to grow my confidence and find or develop skills that I didn't know I had. He has so much trust in me and the rest of his students to make a real difference at our school and plan such important activities. One last thing that he has taught me is how we can influence others. At every summer retreat, we do an activity one night where we all have a candle, and Mr. Thompson starts by lighting that person's candle, who lights the next person's candle, and that person lights the next person's, and so on until the light has spread and everyone's candle has been lit. Then he talks to us about the importance of spreading our light, which I love because it's something we talk about here in church. It can all start with just one person being a good influence. President Thomas S. Monson, our previous prophet, once said, "If you want to give light to others, you have to glow yourself." I've learned so much from Mr. Thompson, and I'll forever be grateful for him and all that he has taught me. He truly has changed my life for the better, so thank you.
You said $20, right? That's right. Oh, we'll do that later. My bad. Zoe, I am genuinely and extremely humbled. I work with young teachers quite a bit, and one of the first things I always tell a teacher that's first coming into the profession is never underestimate the kids. In education, like every other industry, there's an evaluation process. Sorry, Mr. Stock, but the evaluation process will never tell you the depth of a teacher. If you want to know how a teacher's doing in a classroom, don't evaluate him or her. Talk to the kids. Find out from them, listen to what they're saying about the teacher in the classroom, and you'll find out exactly what that person is worth. To have this come from a student, to be nominated and voted on, and to be brought up here and thanked by a student means more to me than anything that you can ever imagine. There's an extra special depth of gratitude for me, because as I look out at my sons, Tyler and Parker, it isn't lost on me that the most precious commodity that anybody of us can have is our children. And for Lindsay to have honored me to put you into my program and ask me to have the slightest amount of influence over you and to trust me with her most precious commodity means more to me than anything else. I am humbled, I have gratitude, and I thank you. This moment will make up for a lot of long nights and extra hours.
Hello, my name is Kendall Meeks, and I have the honor of presenting Mr. Jesse Armis of Whitney High School with one of this year's Crystal Apple Awards. As one of the leading instructors at the Whitney High School's World Language Department and Activity Director and Leadership Instructor, Mr. Armis has devoted countless hours developing the young minds of tomorrow. He's provided me and many other students, past and present, with the leadership skills and attributes to make positive impacts both in our school and communities in which we live. I had the privilege of asking several students how Mr. Armis's mentorship has blessed their lives. Here are a few of their responses. He has really challenged me to put a big effort into making our campus a better place by building community with our fellow peers, London Diaz. Mr. Armis has made me a more confident leader. He showed me how fully dedicated and doing your best at something has a much larger impact in the lives of people around you instead of a half-hearted effort. He showed me what it means to lead by example and take more risks to have more success, Malachi Tuifua. As a dad, activities director, and teacher at Whitney, Mr. Armis has taught me that no matter how much is going on in your life, there's always a way to push through it with a smile on your face. Mr. Armis is always a bright light in leadership and is constantly trying to make this stressful work environment fun, Lakely Perkins. Mr. Armis has truly made me a better leader from the moment I stepped into the leadership class as a freshman. He has continuously pushed me to be the best I can possibly be and won't accept anything less. This year specifically is where I have seen a big difference in the leader who walked in freshman year to the leader I am now. I have been given several opportunities to prove myself, and I've been taught lessons that I can not only use in high school, but throughout my life. He cares so deeply for the students in the program and is truly a great teacher, Peyton Heap. I can truly attest to each of these comments. You've provided me with confidence, you've inspired me to serve those around me, you've encouraged me to reach far beyond what I thought my capabilities were. You've instilled in me a desire to lead by loving and caring for those in whom I may have stewardship over. You've taught me to always strive to be the best version of myself. You've shown your ability to change the course of lives of the students around you. Mr. Armis, our lives have been changed for the better. Our feet are firmly planted on the path of leadership that reflects the legacy you've built through us. Your passion for teaching and building leaders is contagious, and our footprint and the leadership attributes we've learned under your tutelage will forever change the world around us. It is with my sincerest gratitude that I have the privilege to present to you this Crystal Apple Award.
Thank you so much, Kendall, for honoring me with this award. Thank you to the Meeks family. I'm watching Mrs. Meeks tear up over there. I'm kind of emotional, so let's try and stop that. I had a lot of great mentors growing up. A couple of them, Coach Mike Jimenez over at Whitney High School, who's been named for numerous awards. Javi Valdivia over at West Park, assistant athletic director. And I think having those people, they've always instilled in me that to be a positive influence. So that's when I ask, Kendall's one of my students on my executive board. I ask him at least 2 or 3 times a year, what's your why? And my why for the students is just to make a little bit of a positive influence. And I'm very humbled to have done that for you, Kendall. Kendall is going through a very stressful time right now. She's in the middle of elections to be in the secretary, so she's handled herself awesome. She's beautiful hair tonight. And so she's doing a good job, and then we'll hear what happens on Friday. But I'm definitely humbled. Thank you so much for having me, and have a good evening, everybody.
All right, hello everyone. I am here with Major Pearl from the Whitney High School ROTC program. So I moved here at the beginning of my junior year of high school, just this school year, and I can confidently say that the thing I connected to the most, the fastest, and have the most family feeling to anywhere, at school, at work, or even in the church, is the ROTC court with Major Pearl. Major Pearl is fun, energetic, and truly wants the best for all of her cadets. She's encouraging and happy to help out anytime, spending many weekends and after-school hours to help with extracurricular activities and community events. Many of you guys have probably heard of the Hot Chili Cool Cars, or the Christmas tree lighting, or even the Memorial Day and Veterans Day ceremonies that are held over at the cemeteries. We love to help out with those, and those are all made possible with the help of Major Pearl and other local things. So Major Pearl helps each cadet reach their personal best and encourages all to take our own positions that will help our confidence and skills grow. We do things such as flight commanders, logistics NCOs, and color guards like you guys saw today that help each of us learn confidence and leadership and things that we'll be able to use in our lives every day. In ROTC, the ROTC program is run mainly by the cadets, and all those tools, all the guidance that we receive to run that corps are given to us by our instructors like Major Pearl and our other sergeants, Sergeant Barber and Sergeant Wells. As a program that focuses on building skills that are useful in everyday life, the curriculum Major Pearl gives us allows us to learn and practice leadership, confidence, communication, and other life skills that we can use in jobs, that we can use in work, that we can use in school to just help ourselves and the people around us. Our unit, sorry guys, Major Pearl helps her cadets achieve the most that they can. For me, a junior in my first year of ROTC, she has worked with me to double up next year to get to where I want to be in ROTC before graduation, further proving what a great teacher she is. I'm sure that many of the high schoolers in this room can agree with me when I say junior year is not easy. And for someone that wants to go farther in like college and stuff, following this ROTC and military program, it's really helpful that Major Pearl has been willing to work with me to double up and kind of get the classes that I need to concerning ROTC done before I graduate next year. Oh my gosh, my phone just keeps blacking out, guys. So a new thing this year, and probably my favorite, Major Pearl has arranged an awareness presentation team to go to Sunset Elementary School and teach the kids. So every month we give them like a little presentation on leadership and life experience, such as responsibility, dedication, honesty, and things that they can use and kind of follow throughout the rest of their life. APT is one of my favorite activities every month, and I am very grateful that I have this opportunity to strengthen my skills as well as getting to know our ROTC Corps better. So thank you, Major Pearl, for the hard work that you have put into the program, and it's thanks to you that my year with ROTC has been fun, and I have learned many skills that I'll be able to use getting a job and the rest of my life. Thank you.
Well, Lizzie, I too am humbled and speechless. Getting a cadet like Lizzie, and I'm going to try not to cry too, but I make no promises. Getting a cadet like Lizzie is a dream. She walks in and I can see immediately by the way she carries herself that I have a natural leader on my hands. And so now my job is to help her hone those skills and give her those opportunities to spread her leadership wings. And so when I get someone like her, it's easy to see this girl, regardless of what she chooses to do, military, doctor, lawyer, you name the occupation that she chooses, and I know she will flourish. And so I tell the cadets, my gauge in life, as I have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, is like, if I know that when you walk out those gates on graduation, you have integrity, you will be a kind and compassionate leader, and should you find yourself as my child supervisor, I've done my job. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a small part of your journey.
Thank you, Major Pearl.
It is my honor and great pleasure to announce the next teacher, Mrs. Ulloa. Mrs. Ulloa is an amazing Spanish teacher at Whitney High School. However, no one calls her that. We all call her Profe. I've never seen a teacher unanimously nicknamed by the whole school, even by kids that aren't in her class. This is an example of the community that she has created, and I believe you're only in your first year of teaching at Whitney? Okay, I got that right. Other students have described Spanish as a task or something to dread, but I look forward to being in Spanish at the end of the day, as she makes the class stress-free and fun for us. Her teaching style is very relaxed and creative. She's helped me multiple times with concepts I don't understand, taking time to specifically cater to my needs and the needs of others. For example, I was gone one day last week and missed learning an important concept. She quickly realized that I would need some extra help and attention and came over to my desk and explained the concept well enough that I was able to complete all the classwork that day. Mrs. Ulloa is always ready to help and provides useful and comprehensive guidance. Before tests, she allows time to study and gives additional help to make sure that everyone passes the test. She would hate to see anyone fail in her class and really desires that everyone learns the language and culture of Spanish. Profe's teaching style is also adventurous and varied. Every day I walk into class, I'm curious to know what will be taught that day. Last week, we learned about Argentinian cowboys, and the week before that, we learned about alien mysteries in South America. The way that Mrs. Ulloa uses her fun teaching style to connect with and motivate her students to learn and grow is impressive, and shows the kind of person that she is. It's obvious that she truly cares about the impact she makes on her students. She reaches out and helps those who are struggling, like me most of the time, and lifts them up. So thank you, Mrs. Ulloa, for being such a wonderful teacher and creating a positive environment at Whitney.
Thank you, sir. So this is my first year at Whitney High School, and I'm so excited to teach high school. It was a big change. I was with elementary school teaching Spanish, and then I jumped over to high school, and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it, but I ended up loving it and during my student teaching years, and I decided to take on high school, and from right now, I love high school. I love talking to the students, and especially them learning the culture of Spanish culture, and coming into class ready to learn, and being prepared for class. And I always tell the students, make good choices when they leave, because I want that in the back of their head to make sure they leave the classroom making good choices and being an impact in the world as well. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
My name is Lizzie Hanson, and I have the privilege and honor of introducing all of you to Ernie Cooper, or Coach Cooper, or Coop, as he is known at Granite Bay High School and in the Granite Bay community. I personally known Coach Coop since I was a little girl, and I became close friends with his daughter, Miko. Also, my dad was a football team physician, while Coach Cooper was the head football coach. My dad can't say the name Coach Cooper without a deep amount of admiration and respect. I was truly in awe of Coach Coop, even as a very young child. He's like being around a real-life superhero. He's loved and adored for his values in the classroom and on the football field. And ever since I was little, I looked forward to being able to come to Granite Bay High School because of him. Coach Cooper is a legend. You can't mention Granite Bay High School without giving this incredible man some serious recognition. Coach Cooper literally opened Granite Bay High School as a founding teacher and coach in 1999. He has led many teams over the years to state playoffs, and as the head coach, he led the team to win the state championship in 2012. He first came on staff as a football coach, math and weight training teacher, but it didn't take long for the school and community to adopt him and his awesome wife, Carol, and then a few years later, his daughter, Miko, as family. Coach Coop is the kind of teacher and coach that sees a need, then offers all he has to help ease and comfort who is in need. He is known to have often provided food and meals at his own expense to students and athletes who needed them. He taught countless members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in his time as a teacher and coach. He always encourages and champions us to be different and stand up for our values, even when it's hard. He knows everyone by name and makes everyone feel valued and seen. Coach Coop has a board in his office of pictures of his students who are either serving in the military or serving LDS missions. The board is just one example of how Coach Cooper encourages his students' efforts to go above and beyond in everything we do. Justin Larkin, one of Coach Cooper's students, said that what stands out the most to him about Coach Coop is that he looked at his job not only as being a coach on the field, but as being a developer of leaders that will go on to have an impact on school and eventually in the community. It's a testament to this that Justin named his firstborn son Cooper, because they wanted to give their son the name of a leader. Coach Cooper would hold leadership clinics, which he would do for captains early in the mornings, where he would teach lessons about what it means to be a leader in fun and hard times. He gave students the confidence to win on the field and off the field. I bet that if his players and students had to pinpoint the biggest influence at Granite Bay, it would be Coach Cooper. Coach Coop is just so fun to be around. He has an exciting personality. He's upbeat, cheerful, passionate, and thoughtful. Coach didn't forget where he came from, a small little beach community in Aptos, California. He would arrange for summer trips back to his roots where the football team could meet former players, coaches, and fields that had shaped the person he had become. During junior year of high school, one of my family friends had an injury that prevented him from attending school. Coach Cooper went to his house and helped him with math and showed him how to read defenses. While us students don't remember everything he teaches us, what we do remember is that he's always here for us, no matter what we're going through. As you can see, his infectious and contagious personality has been etched into the minds and hearts of all his students and players. Coach Cooper, you truly have impacted thousands of students and athletes for decades, including me. We love you, we admire you, and we thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, lesson number one for the future teachers out there, you got to have a lesson plan every day. okay? When I go off the lesson plan, class goes off the rails. I am really honored to be included with these other outstanding teachers and educators up here. I thank Lizzie for these kind words. I've known her since she was born, and she's turned into this amazing student athlete at Granite Bay High School, a phenomenal runner, outstanding young lady, and I thank you very much for honoring me today. Her parents, Kevin and Julie, have been such great supporters of me and my family. I thank you both from the bottom of my heart. One fun fact about Kevin and I, we've both been thrown out of a football game at Granite Bay High School. Now, I was the head coach. He's the team doctor. You don't get the team doctor thrown out of the game too often. As he was walking off out of the stadium, I'm looking at the players and I'm saying, he cares more than you guys do. You lit a fire under our team. We went on to win that game, and it was an amazing night. But anyway, thank you for all your service to Granite Bay High School as our team doctor for the last 20 years. We really appreciate you. I can name so many people tonight, the Trithals, the Schofields, the Williams, the Holtz, the Hansons. Thank you all for supporting me and my family on this journey we've had for the last 27 years at Granite Bay High School. I thank the good Lord every day that my wife Carol came into my life. Okay, she's the real head coach. I thank the good Lord every day that our daughter Miko came into our lives. We cried with joy when she was born. And I thank the good Lord every day that Carol and I and Miko ended up in this great community of people that love education. Thank you.
Hello, I am Isabella Silva and have been given the amazing opportunity to give Mrs. Milburn, or Milbs, as many of you know her as, one of the Crystal Apple Awards. If you don't know Mrs. Milburn, she is the amazing dance teacher at Granite Bay High School, and she is amazing at what she does every single day. I have seen her go above and beyond by staying after school for many hours, many hours, let me tell you. And by helping us choose costumes, and of course, putting together a show that most of the students attend and students love performing in. I have been lucky enough to be in the dance program for 7 semesters now and really connected with her throughout the years. I've been able to be a student choreographer, or known as one of Milburn's minions, and she has been so supportive and helpful while helping me explore my creative paths as a dancer. She isn't only a teacher, but also a friend, as she tries to keep in touch with our outside lives as well. Mrs. Milburn's dance class is a very special, creative class to be a part of that not only gives us students the opportunity to teach, but also has other professionals come in and choreograph as well. Mrs. Milburn has not only helped me, but many other students come out of their shells. I have seen so many students come into the class the first week and later find the confidence and blossom throughout the year. She has also helped me find a place where I belong. I have been able to make so many amazing friendships and relationships, helping me become more involved as a student as well. I am just so grateful for everything she has done for me and can't wait for other students to experience her classroom after I leave. Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Thank you.
I asked Isabella, do I need to say anything? And she said, no. And then I got here and they said, just a minute. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's so great to see so many parents of children I have taught throughout the years. And Isabella, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you for nominating me. I remember the first time we met on COVID. You were this big, and you are such a talented dancer. And thank you for being a TI, because it takes a special person, and I've been in awe how creative you have been as well. And when you taught, she's taught like a Dance 1 class with brand new dancers who've never had experience, and what she would create and make them just look so amazing. And I feel I've learned from you just the patience and creativity you've had, so thank you. I've been at Granite Bay. I was very lucky. I got hired student teaching there 24 and a half years ago. I started as a Spanish teacher. And then I professionally danced throughout college, and I did minor in dance. And then my principal who hired me, Ron Severson, said, hey, I want to start a dance program here. And I said, what? I'm a Spanish teacher, I'm not a dance teacher. And he said, I think this is your calling, give it a try. And it has been the best decision ever. I love, because I often get the students back over and over again. I get to go to their weddings after they graduate, high school, baby showers. And in the end, I just hope that always the students will look back on their high school career of just happy, fun, positive memories of being in the dance program. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Christian Jones, and I decided to nominate Mr. Sherman for this award. And I chose Mr. Sherman to receive it because he's hands down the best math teacher I have ever had. And he's very smart and goes above and beyond in his teaching, and not only teaches us how to solve and make equations and graphs, but the deeper meaning behind them, and like the inner workings of them and the concepts and how to relate it to what we have done and what we will do. And he understands it's more important for learning to have a combination of lecture, guided work, and figuring out the material ourselves. However, Mr. Sherman can also keep the class very fun, engaging, and interesting throughout the whole day with music, basketball shots, and his naturally fun personality. And the whole atmosphere of his classroom is perfect for learning and growth, and he keeps it lively. And I can talk and work on the math problems that we are given with my classmates. Mr. Sherman always gives us time to work through difficult problems with the people around us, and makes it so much easier to learn. Furthermore, he also coaches a top-tier swim team for Granite Bay that wins title after title. He doubles up on hosting a successful math team and a successful swim team. Did you win today?
We did.
Okay, good. Yeah. And while I'm not on the swim team, I have a ton of respect for all types of coaches. They know how to help those who are struggling, and how and when to push you when you need it. Mr. Sherman has figured out how to bring his coaching talents into the classroom, and coaches us through our math problems, and pushes us to learn new content every week, like when I see him giving one-on-one lessons to students who are struggling and helping them until they understand the material. I love being in Mr. Sherman's class, where I know I will learn, have fun, and judge what the best water brand is, and I want to thank him again for running an amazing class. Oh, there we go.
Wow, thank you.
That's great.
Okay, so I hand wrote notes and realized I had trouble reading my own handwriting, so. Thank you, Christian, for the kind words and for nominating me for this award. I am so blessed to get to work in a community and in a district that appreciates teachers for their hard work, so thank you all for that. I'm honored to every day of my life get to work with just amazing and talented young people like all the ones that you've heard from tonight. So thank you. But mostly I'm appreciative of this group that put this all together, that is helping the next generation view life through a lens of gratitude. So thank you all for what you're doing to support teachers and students.
Hello, my name is Ari Ramey. I am a 9th grader at John Adams Academy in Lincoln, and tonight I'll be presenting this Crystal Apple Award to Miss Hallie Dayabouts. Miss Dayabouts took over as my art teacher at John Adams mid-year. A classroom that once lacked became a gateway to our imagination. Art pieces that once lacked creative thinking became a gateway to our imagination as well. Miss Dayabouts once told me that it was her goal to find out who we are through the art that we create. Miss Dayabouts once shared a quote with me that reads, "Artwork is a mirror, a production of everything you have experienced." I have seen the truth of this quote in action every day that I have her class. One of the first activities that Miss Dayabouts had us do was to write a list of things that inspire us. Here's what my class and I have to share: nature, heart, music, motivation, talent, religion, stories, leaders, people, and experiences. I invite everyone here to follow suit with this activity and to make a list of things that inspire you. I promise that when you do, you will find a greater appreciation for the world around you. In her motivation for us to look for the deeper meaning in all that we see, I have been able to see just the kind of person that Miss Dayabouts is. She is one of care, one of inspiration, one of understanding, one of contagious joy, one of livelihood, one of leadership, and most importantly, one of love. I've never been somebody who's considered myself an artist because my art never turned out the way I wanted, and I was never naturally very gifted. The first piece that Miss Dayabouts had us do was a 4-quadrant artwork of animals. So pretty much what this means is that you have your piece of paper and you have your 4 sections, and you create your animal using different mediums or materials. When I was finished with my monkey, I looked down at it and I was proud of it. I realized that what had been lacking from all of my previous pieces was passion. Thanks to the spark that Miss Dayabouts lit, I now understand that if I want to see the results that I want, I need to have passion for what I am creating. Thanks to Miss Dayabouts, I now see my potential for art with new eyes. Miss Dayabouts, thank you for helping my art experience come to life, and thank you for helping the program at John Adams Academy come to life as well.
Aria has come to my room once a day, every day this week, to let me know that she was going to make me cry. So congratulations on that. It's true, I did come into secondary art mid-year this year. It is my first year teaching, and I was incredibly intimidated and overwhelmed. Mainly because of, yes, I'm a teacher, I'm not a student. My students remind me of that every day, how young I appear. But truly, I feel like having been through the education system so recently and being such a young teacher, I am able to take on this mentorship role almost as this older sister. I've been through all of their recent graduations and such big amounts of stress that they're experiencing in the world right now, and I just feel such a deep connection to my students. I'm so truly appreciative of your kind words and for this award. I'm super honored, so thank you.
It is a great pleasure to introduce to all of you tonight Mr. Matthews, who is a U.S. history teacher for 11th graders at Roseville John Adams Academy. But he is much more than that. Tonight, I hope I can provide each of you with a little insight into why Mr. Matthews is an incredible teacher and loved by many. The first and foremost thing that every person notices that enters Mr. Matthews' classroom is his passion. His deep love of U.S. history is so evident in every lecture and tutorial he gives. Sometimes it comes out in ways like funny accents or dressing up in Civil War soldier's uniform, although we have never gotten him to sing for us, despite our many efforts. However, he consistently delivers detailed and exciting lectures, no matter the topic. Mr. Matthews' knowledge is impressively vast, and he never ceases to amaze us.
With this great passion he holds for U.S. history, he helps others to find and foster their passions, and inspires us to dig deeper into our nation's heritage. I recently was able to go on an all-expense-paid trip to Philadelphia with the organization Freedom's Foundation. During the trip, we were able to visit incredible historical sites, such as Independence Hall, Valley Forge, and Liberty Bell. I genuinely enjoyed this experience, and I'm grateful to have attended. However, I owe that to Mr. Matthews. I don't think I would have had interest in going on this trip if it wasn't for him. During this last school year, I've developed a passion for U.S. history, which not only pushed me to go on the trip, but I believe will continue to create new paths for me throughout my life. Mr. Matthews' love for history and truth also shines through in the curriculum he teaches. It is enriched with historical documents and novels that we read, analyze, and discuss, which not only helps us gain a deeper understanding of history, but also helps to build our critical thinking skills, which will be of great benefit to all of us throughout our lives. This exemplifies how much he cares for each scholar individually and our successes. It's also important to note that he's not only a dedicated teacher, but also a dedicated father, co-worker, and friend. And perhaps one of the most important things is his faith. I see his devotion and love for God and Christ through his actions, which continuously shine with Christ-like love, patience, and humility. Thank you for all you do for us, Mr. Matthews. We are extremely blessed to learn from you.
Thank you, Maddie. I am humbled to be able to be here to accept this award. I'm really blessed in my life. I'm blessed with a wonderful family, my wife Darcy and my children Addie and Harrison and Avonlea. And I'm blessed with good mentors and teachers in my own life, especially my teacher, my history teacher, Mr. Paul Sampson. And he's not here, he lives in another state. But I wanted to acknowledge him too. And I love what I do. I love that I get up every day and I get to do something that interests me, but also that I get to work with such wonderful people. I have wonderful colleagues, and most of all, I get to work with the wonderful young men and young women that are my scholars. And I learn from them every day, and they help to keep me young, and they inspire me. So thank you, Maddie, and thank you, all of you. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Well, what an amazing evening, and so grateful you could be here tonight. I think Mr. Sherman said it so well, this lens of gratitude. It's good for our souls to express gratitude. And I want to, again, recognize these amazing students for the gratitude that they've expressed for these teachers. We're proud of you. And of course, we're grateful again to honor these teachers. And tonight we say that we see you, and we're grateful that you've seen our children. Thank you so much. Just a couple of thoughts as we conclude tonight. They mentioned that I grew up in the home of a teacher, and what a blessing that's been in my life. And I honor my dad, and so grateful for the influence he's been in my life. It's been fun to see in our home as students return to thank and honor him. One of the things that I remember was when I was in college, I got a chance just for a little bit to be a teacher as missionaries in our church. And many of you who maybe aren't of our faith, you know some of our history, to go and serve missions for 18 months or for 2 years. And I got to teach missionaries who were learning Spanish in the Missionary Training Center when I was at school at BYU. And one day while I was there, we had a leader come and talk to us about teaching. And he said, here in the Missionary Training Center, you walk in a sacred place. And I felt that. I thought this was a sacred place. And then what he said next surprised me, and I've always remembered it because it wasn't what I expected. He says, the sacred place that you walk is in the hearts of these missionaries. And he says, we don't let a lot of people do that. And tonight, we've honored and thanked some people who've walked in a sacred place, and that's in the hearts of our children. And we're so grateful for you. So thank you again for all that you've done for our children. We're grateful to honor you tonight. One verse from the Bible in Luke chapter 15, there's a story that we all know well. It's the story of the prodigal son, where a dad has two sons, and one who turns away from everything that he was taught and leaves the family and rebels and asks for his inheritance early and then spends it and finds himself in a terrible situation, hungry and far from home. And in verse 20, in Luke chapter 15, it describes his journey home, and it says this. It says, and when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and ran and fell upon his neck and kissed him. And one of the things that happens with great teachers is they see us when we're far away and lost, and they run to meet us. And we've seen that tonight as these students have thanked teachers who've noticed them on their difficult days when they feel far away from home. Even when you're in a classroom that you know well, you can feel so alone. And these teachers have seen our children and ran to meet them and embrace them in whatever way is appropriate for teachers to do now. But we're grateful for that. It's a blessing to be among teachers. It's a blessing to express our gratitude. And tonight, I think, as we think about, as members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, our gratitude for these teachers in our community who recognize Jesus Christ as everything in our lives, our Savior and our Redeemer, and a great teacher. And we know he would be pleased that tonight we're recognizing teachers, and we do all the things that we've done tonight in the name of our Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. We'll conclude this evening with a couple of things. We will have a closing song and a prayer. But before we do that, just a request. There's an archway of balloons back there. We've asked the teachers, if you would just quickly, there's some ice cream. We want you to get some ice cream, and that's for everybody. But we'd like you to come back there, and the students who nominated those teachers, if you join us for a picture. We'd like to get a picture of the students and the teachers tonight before you leave. So I know you've been here a long time. Just stay for a couple more minutes so we can get a picture with you and these students who've nominated you. We'll conclude tonight with a closing song by Hallie Wardlaw, and then our closing prayer will be offered by Matt Galvin from John Adams, our Dean of Operations. Thank you.
But you will find Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this day. We thank you so much for the scholars and students that were here this evening and the courage that they show each and every day. We thank you so much for these mentors, these educators, these teachers, with their unwavering commitment to the development of our children. We thank you so much for the strength of this community. We thank you so much for our leadership. We thank you for our friends and our family members. We thank you for the opportunity to gather tonight as we celebrate the elite level educators in our presence. We thank you for the opportunity to serve. We thank you for our many blessings. We ask you to keep watchful eye over us. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.